Today we're gonna talk about why Aglaea may or may not be for you. Either way though, if you like her, you should pull her waifu over meta all the time, cause that's what's going to make you happy the most, not viewless cycles and mock. Hey all, Mukuro here. From pre-release and bunch of showcases from people, Aglaea looks incredible. Her DPS is really good with how fast she can deal it. She can be a bit pricey, but who isn't these days? I will talk you through some pros and some cons first, then we will discuss her teams and why I'm going to pull her and hopefully get her. Let's start with her pros. I'm a voice actor collector in this game and my personal pro is, in Japanese version, she's voiced by Endo Aya. You might know her as Astra in ZZZ, Chihiro from P3R, Mim from Dragalia Lost, Miku from Lucky Star, and so many other characters. And her main unit pro is she's a lightning DPS that is actually speed related. What? She's a speed scaling DPS. It is really good to see that Huohuo is making Action Advance have a DPS instead of us forcing units to get more turns. Now we have a unit that wants many turns to lash out the DPS again and again and scale while doing so and unleash even more DPS. I love speed scalers. When I was playing Epic 7, my biggest dream and nightmare was Max Speed Pavel. This was when he released. And the best part is we can use her as long as Huohuo gives us Action Advance support. Speed was, even though a must-have stat on a good chunk of DPSs, it was mostly a that stat DPS wise, other than attacking again I mean. Even though I was really against summon DPSs when Huohuo first announced them, I really started loving them over time. It seems like Huohuo is asking us to pick our poison. Herta is a hypercarry DPS and Aglaea is a pure speed dex DPS that deals multiple blows, and it seems like Castorice is going to be a slow but one-hit KO type DPS. If the relic set is for her, that is. Simply they're releasing a bunch of different types of DPSs for us to pick whatever we want. For endgame, she's going to be good for mock and pure fiction, but it's probably going to be bad for Apocalyptic Shadow, since she relies on taking multiple actions, so naturally Apocalyptic Shadow only cares for actions, not cycles for scoring. And for her team flexibility, she's way better than Acheron. I can say this easily since I have been using her since release, easier S1 by the way, and she has been my first actual good DPS after Blade. Her damage is way better as well. Just cause she's dealing less per action doesn't mean she's dealing less DPS. What matters at the end is a unit's DPS output per cycle, not action. When it comes to her LC actually, which is an important topic since they make them look good all the time, Aglaea doesn't care about her LC, it only gives 20% DPS boost, which is nothing. She doesn't need her LC to function whatsoever, unlike Acheron. That's why I also love Firefly, E2 by the way. They're pretty similar DPS output and number wise. The thing is, Firefly needs way more investment for units as in copies to clear well these days. When it comes to cons, and no, I do not count as them being expensive for cost as a con, since that's an account state thing and not actual con according to me. I say this, but if you really hate her support as a character, I mean, or you use them elsewhere, this is going to be a con for you, which I can understand. Her supports currently are RMC, Gallagher, Tingyun for free to play, and for premium you need Robin, Sunday, and Fofo. You can drop Fofo and go Sustainess to have even more turns with Bronya, or even can go with RMC again and make it an auto team. Her actual con for me is you have to know how to use her team. You can't get a good auto run without investing into her gear quite a lot. I imagine it would be fine, but playing manually would be way better for her. If you don't want to do a single input in a fight, she might not be for you. Also, she's probably going to be bad for Apocalyptic Shadow since she wants so much turns, but I have no info on this, but Action Advance is usually bad idea in that mode. So she's potentially bad in one mode, so what, am I right? There's also the speed tuning of supports, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? It's a minor con, but it still counts for me. It might not be a con for you at all. When I play Star Rail, I don't really want to min-max my stats, since it is really annoying to get a good gear in this game, which I think a good chunk of us can relate. Before we talk about teams, if you liked the video so far and want to see more, I will make a guide when Aglaea comes to the live servers. If you don't want to miss that, consider subbing to my channel. I will also be covering the future characters. I just mentioned in the cons section, but let's go through again. Her free-to-play options are RMC, Gallagher, and Tingyun. And for premium, you need Robin, Sunday, and Huohuo. You can drop Huohuo and go Sustainless to have even more turns with Bronya, or even go with RMC again and make it auto. What will future bring? Who knows, but this is a really solid comp if you ask me. We can only go higher. Her free-to-play team, when she doesn't have an advantage, clears in 4 cycles. She will be better when she has advantage, and she will have an advantage for a long time if you ask me. When it comes to my account, I have all the supports in the game currently as in Harmony, and have E1 Herta, E2 Firefly, either S1 Yomi, or Akron, whichever you would prefer. That's pretty much all my DPS. Since I don't have E2 5-star Tingyun, Firefly is pretty hard to manage at the moment. Since I'm using RMC with Herta, my account has all the units for premium team, and that is why I'm going to try my luck on her. But honestly, I'm real torn apart at the moment since there are so many cute and interesting units coming out. Castorice is most likely the anniversary unit, if not Kevin, but they didn't show him at all as in gameplay. But Castor seems to have a dragon, which is really interesting, and it reminds me Malzeno from Monhan Sunbreak, which I love. It might be my favorite Elder Dragon from the whole series, and she has a scythe. It is so cool. So yeah, I want her. I don't personally care what she does or how good she is, I want the dragon. Also, she's voiced by Saito Chiba. She voices Sanjo Ogata from Monogatari and Asaina from Danganronpa. Okay. I also have to mention Tribbie. If you played the JP version, her voice actor is Kono Hikaru. She's the voice actor of Yanami Anna from Makeine. As far as I know, she's quite new to the VA industry, but she's 2 out of 2 for me so far. I enjoyed every scene with Tribbie. When it comes to their gameplay and their animations, they are cute, playful, unserious, which is a nice change from all the units that we see most of the time. Their animations and design sort of remind me Jinko's and Monokuma split from Danganronpa, but it is probably just me. They remind me of Powerpuff Girls more than anything, which I will also try to get them when they come out. What do we do then? If you like her design and want a strong start, even though you like Sunday, I would consider pulling her, unless you're interested in future units. Maybe the unit you want is gonna arrive late in like 3.4 or 3.5, so yeah, I think getting her is a good idea in that state. But if you want someone in a few patches and already have Herta, I would think a few more times before you pull. You might not want a DPS, there's also that. We will learn about future units in the upcoming weeks, so keep a lookout for that. But at the end of the day, we will want at least 2 DPSs from 3.x. Since older ones want more investment to keep them up, or you can do exactly what I said, invest in the old DPSs if you want to keep using them. Just cause they are more costly, it doesn't mean it's a bad idea. You play the game after all, you need to enjoy it first. For me, I will give it a shot. Pull 30 or so, and if she doesn't come, I will go for another DPS. My gem count is pretty tight at the moment since, well, I want nearly everyone in the upcoming patches, so unless I get her early, I'm not getting her. Which is basically beaten by a dragon. I think it is understandable.